It's now 8:11 here on Early Mornings on News Talk 550 and 92.1 WSVA. And I'm Jim Britt along with Frank Wilt, Jennifer Armstrong, and Carl Meganoffer in the WSVA newsroom. And we are pleased to be joined this morning by Bob Coakley from Waterworks. Bob, good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning to you.
One of the reasons Bob is here, and the primary reason that Bob is here, is we're going to talk about something pretty basic to all of us, and that is water. And, Bob, it's becoming a bigger and bigger issue. Probably if there's one major element in the entire consumer products business right now, I don't care what type of goods or services you're providing, and that is folks have more questions about basic things, where their food comes from. They're trying to eat healthier. So they have a lot of basic issues. And one of the questions they're asking now is what's in their water, what should be in their water, and the Valley certainly provides a tremendous amount of challenges with all the different issues you have to deal with.
Well, that's true. I think back 35 years ago when I first got into this industry, and you know, we're living in an area where certainly there's a lot of wells and there's a lot of hard water issues. But today, so many conversations start off with drinking water. It's all about what I'm putting in my body. And we're out here now. We've bought into the bottled water concepts, and yet there's a lot of technologies out here that people can put in their home to treat their water right at the kitchen sink. And so more and more of that is starting to happen now. And I think it's even true with some of the public water supplies. There are issues there, too. And so there's a growing concern about water. I mean, you think about water, it's the universal solvent. So we've got to be concerned about what might be dissolving into it.
Well, you use water for so many things, and a lot of people just assume probably, especially if they live in a town, that their water quality is really good and they don't have any concerns about that until maybe you get that letter like some towns need to send out, you know, telling you to be on the watch for these things that they found when they tested. But a lot of people also probably, if they live in the country close to a farm, they probably think about, well, there could be runoff from that farm. But if they live in a neighborhood, in a subdivision or something, and they have a well, they probably never think about the amount of, you know, times people put fertilizer on their lawn and everything else that's going on that could seep down through the ground.
Well, that's true. You think about public water. You pay a water bill. There's somebody there that monitors the quality of your water. When you're out on a well and it's an unprotected water source, nobody's doing that for you. And I think people need to realize more often they need to have water tests done for things like bacteria and nitrates and maybe lead and heavy metals, just to be sure. Now, the thing that I tell people all the time is that there's technologies out there that can remove those things. And I think that's why we've seen a tremendous increase in things like ultraviolet lights for purification and reverse osmosis for drinking water. Because it's a peace of mind that people have a good peace of mind about having that faucet at the kitchen sink and knowing that every day they can go there and drink good, clean, pure water.
I think the other issue, too, is I bet there's a lot of folks listening to us who have never had their water tested, and the obvious signs obviously motivates them to have their water tested if there's an odor or discoloration. But if your water looks okay, that doesn't always mean it's okay, is it?
No, not really. I mean, most of the things that we just discussed, like bacteria, like lead, heavy metals, nitrates, you can't see them in water. You can't really taste them, invisible for the most part, unless, like you said, the water gets clouded up. So it doesn't cost a lot of money to have those things tested. We do a lot of those things for free through Waterworks Water Treatment. And then, of course, we're associated with the local labs where we can take bacterial samples in, and they can have a bacterial sample done, minimum cost. We keep bacteria test bottles at our store. People can come by and pick those up, and we'll see that the bacteria test gets run. But I think it'd be a great idea to have it looked at. I mean, you know, it's an unknown. You might as well.
Right. And I know you're going to be offering that at your booth coming up in the SVBA Home Show.
Yes, we are. We'll have bacteria sample bottles there. We've always encouraged people to bring samples even to the show. We can test them right there for things like hardness and iron and pH. But we also have a lab in our store on Dealton Avenue, and people are more than welcome to bring samples in there, and we can test them right there on the spot. They can pick up bacteria sample containers, bring them back. We have a local lab that picks up at our store on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they can have a bacteria test run there too.
And that's coming up at the Shenandoah Valley Builders Association 2016 Home and Garden Show, and that's April 9th and 10th at the Rockingham County Fairgrounds. You can come out and see the folks from Waterworks. You know, the other issue we've got here is we've got a group of folks who use tremendous amounts of water each and every day, and that's folks who are involved in production agriculture. Correct. And they also have the needs may not be as specific as we have as far as what we're drinking and what we're using to cook and things like that, but the quality of water is also important for them.
Well, a lot of people may remember that Waterworks was a division of Animal Health and Specialties in the 80s. I did a lot of agricultural water treatment, and it's just important for those animals to have good water as it is for humans. As a matter of fact, the farm community puts more emphasis on them sometimes than they do on themselves, because we understand bacterial issues and nitrate issues and what it can do to herd health with dairy and, of course, mortality in poultry. So I tell you, I will say this about the farm community. They're more on top of having their water tested than just about anybody, and for good reason.
Well, if you've got some questions, you can stop by and see Bob and Mark and all the folks at Waterworks. And Bob, again, where are you located?
We're located at 1760 Dilton Avenue here in Harrisonburg.
Right. And you've also got information available online at your website?
We do, waterworkswater.com.
And don't forget, you can come out and see them at the SVBA Home and Garden Show coming up at the Rockingham County Fairgrounds, April 9th and 10th. Bob, we do appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by.
Yes, thank you very much.